The Turkey Valley Trojans finished the regular season undefeated with a 65-8 victory over West Central last week. Coach Mark Scott joining us, and Coach, just looked like an overall pretty solid performance in all aspects of the game. Looking at the stat sheet, you agree?
Yeah, we played well offensively, defensively. Our special teams did their jobs.
And looking at the stat sheet as well, looking at your defense, earlier this year, you had a kid take a 3 kicks back for scores in a game. You had 2 pick sixes in this game from Oliver Schmidt. How long has it been since you've seen something like that?
It would have been about 2016, I think. John Gosling did it at Clarksville, picked two and took them back. But yeah.
And Oliver's a kid that when he's gotten his opportunities this year, seemingly has done some nice things on both sides of the ball. How has he progressed throughout the season?
He's done a nice job. Yeah, he's a sophomore. He's going to be a good football player. He's already a good football player. He's going to be a really good football player by the time he's through.
And another solid outing from your running game, 333 yards, 7.7 yards towed. Marcus Harold leading the way with 116 yards. We've talked about your offensive line a lot this year. Seemingly another pretty good night for them.
Yeah, they did a good job of getting out and getting on people and moving the line of scrimmage. When the line moves 3 yards forward, it's pretty easy to pick up 6 yards to carry.
So when you look at the season as it's progressed from week 1 to week 8, where you feel you're playing your best football right now as you get ready for the postseason?
I hope so. Hopefully we can still play a little better, but we're playing pretty well.
And this week you got Springville coming to town for the first round of the playoffs. I know you've met them about 4 times in the last 6 years. You've won all those matchups. What about this year's edition of the Orioles impresses you?
They have a young man, Minster, I think is how he pronounced his name. He is an athlete. I mean, he's not real big, but he's got majority of their touchdowns. He's a guy that catches all their kicks, catches their punts. The guy they like to throw to. They put him in a wildcat situation around swinging gate, and he makes a lot of plays. So, and they have a nice 6'3" quarterback when he's not back. They kind of gets him the ball when he needs to.
And seemingly they're playing hot football right now. They lost their first 4 games of the season, but they've won 4 in a row. Based on your study, what's been the difference in these last 4 games for Springville?
The teams are playing, but they were young coming in. They were senior dominated last year, and so I'm sure that there's always growing pains when kids move up from JV to varsity. And they had a tough schedule at the beginning of the year. I mean, they played Waco, they played Key High, they played Easton Valley. Those are 3 pretty solid football teams they had to start out with an inexperienced squad.
And I know you're back in the playoffs after a year not making the playoffs last year and going deep into the playoffs at the very least. This is a new thing for a lot of your guys, some experience coming off that team from a couple of years ago. How do you handle this situation? How do you make this like any other football game, or is that even possible?
It is another football game. It's just one, it's 1 week at a time. We have Springville this week. We had West Central last week. Our practice is, what we're going to try to do and what we're going to try to stop them from doing. And hopefully they realize, it's a home game. So.
All right, Coach. All right, Coach. Hopefully you can keep your kids healthy and keep moving on. We wish you best of luck.
Thanks, Darren.
Mark Scott, head coach of the Turkey Valley Trojans. It's Turkey Valley and Springville Friday night in Jackson Junction.